Hey guys, John here, and welcome back to John's RC. And today I am back with the E-flite Umx Waco. So if you've watched my original maiden flight on the Waco, you would know that I only flew on a 3-cell battery, but also it was really windy, so that's why I didn't fly on a 2-cell. That's because we had 15-mile-per-hour winds and we had 30-mile-per-hour gusts, so this plane really wasn't having it. I was having a really fun time flying it in the wind. It was kind of like powered slope soaring, but this plane was really kind of struggling in the wind, but the AS3X did help to compensate that for a little. So this time I'm going to be flying it on a 2S and a 3S on a calm day. Just to show you the battery that I'm using. It's a Spektrum 2-cell 300 mAh battery pack. Now I really like these 2S batteries, but the problem, and I really don't understand why, the connectors for these batteries are just so dang long. So it's kind of a hassle just trying to like shove everything in there and then forcing the battery closed. But yeah, Spektrum 2S, I think it's a 30C battery. Everything is working, you can see. And I have my throttle control, sorry. So I'm going to be hand launching this once again because you can see it is quite wet today. So I'm going to be hand launching it in safe. Alright, immediately going out of safe. And here we go. So I can immediately tell it's not as powerful. Makes sense, you're losing a cell. But this still feels really nice. I will say that I have been flying the Waco off camera on a 3-cell battery, just like in my cul-de-sac. I've just really been messing around with what it can really do and to like the extent of its capabilities. So let's punch it to full throttle, see what we're working with here. This is full throttle. Nice smooth flying. What I've noticed about this plane is it tracks really well. So for your precision aerobatics, it's going to be a star for a microplane. Let's do a vertical test. So this is fully vertical, full throttle. That's where it kind of peaks out. Okay. Yeah, so obviously not as powerful like the 3-cell Powerhouse. But nonetheless, it feels really enjoyable to fly. On Horizon's website, it says that on a 2S, you're gonna expect similar performance as to the original Waco, the blue and white one, because that was only limited to 2S. You did not have the 3S option because our technology for microplanes was still quite limited. And actually, I haven't trimmed this model out at all. I just realized my rudder is kind of untrimmed. Okay. Now what I really want to check out is loading up the wing, because in my original maiden flight, you saw that it really did nothing when I went to max positive elevator. So I want to try that again. So I'm just going to load up the wing. Yep, you can see, still doesn't do anything. That was full positive elevator. Let's do it again. Full positive, full positive. No bad tendencies. So this thing really just doesn't stall. I thought the wind was coming into play when I tried it, but no, it's just that good. I am enjoying myself here. Let me do a low pass for you guys, nice and slow. Let's get closer to the camera. Just such a beautiful model. I will say I have flown this in my cul-de-sac on a 2S for like 30 seconds. And I just landed it because I didn't like the way it felt in the cul-de-sac. And that's because I didn't know this. When I flew it in my cul-de-sac, I just ran it on a 2S because I thought naturally, because it was slower, it would have been easier to handle. But that was certainly not the case, because sometimes there's a lot of trees like in my front yard. So when you're flying on a 2S and you get near a tree, you won't get that same punch out that you do on a 3S battery. So if you're in a sketchy place, you can't just pop it because, you know, your vertical is like this. So I just landed it. But it sits much happier on a 3-cell battery for enclosed flying. Like, you know, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So it feels like the 2S is really for like your scale flying, if you want to fly like the YMF-5 biplane that this was modeled after. Or if you just want some nostalgia and fly it like the original Waco, but with the upgraded servos, upgraded technology. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and land her. I can have a normal landing for once. Okay, so that was nothing like my landing for the first video where I was in that really heavy crosswind, but yeah, so that was my flight on the 2S, and what I can see is it's definitely not as powerful. You can see that the vertical was very limited, but it's really nice for like if you want that scale aerobatics that the original or like the real YMF-5 biplane is capable of doing. So for your precision aerobatics, your 4-point rolls and whatnot, this is probably the battery for you. But also, like I mentioned, it's probably not going to be good in enclosed spaces. Take, for example, my cul-de-sac. I gave an example that in sketchy situations where you're near a tree, you're not going to be able to punch out the same way that a 3-cell does. So, yeah, if you're at the same kind of like area as me, or like the same space as me, sorry, same space where I'm flying, the 2S is going to be really good. But if you're flying in a pretty enclosed space or like a street, it's probably not going to be the best. So yeah, let's go fly around the 3S. Alright guys, we are now on a 3-cell battery, and this is the same battery as before. It's just the Spektrum 3-cell 300 with a 30C discharge rate. You can see my Velcro is really sticking up there, huh? It's probably fine. So I've realized that I've been neglecting my flight time for the past 2 flights, my maiden flight and the 2S flight. On the maiden flight, I had no idea that I flew for 11 minutes, and I'm actually surprised because after I checked that battery, it balanced out at 3.8, where it's normally where you want it to sit. So it's because I don't have my timer set on my throttle stick. I set it to the eye, and I always forget it. So we're gonna turn on the timer this time. So, as usual, we'll check. And safe on. Alright, let's turn on the timer. Make sure it's going. Yep. I can immediately feel the difference in speed. This is a like 25% throttle. Alright. So let's do some aerobatics, shall we? Yes. So what I've been really liking about the Waco, which I haven't done on camera yet, is hovering. It's just such a nice airplane. Let's go for a full vertical. Does snap rolls really good. Look at that. Let's go for another hover. Yeah, so if you're flying in enclosed spaces, it sounds strange, but you really need the extra power just to punch out of things like, you say there's like a tree right in front of me, oh no. You know, that type of thing. Some knife edge. Try and do some torque rolling. They're not the best. Yeah. Let's go for a little spin. Obviously not gonna get the same as like a Mamba or something, because like I mentioned in my maiden flight video, the rudder deflection is not the highest. Like, this is full deflection. That was sketchy. Alright, I am now at 1 minute on my timer. It feels like I've flown this for 30 seconds. That punch out was just insane. Like, whoop. What a good model. I really, really love it. And then you can also go low and slow, or high and slow. And it got dark all of a sudden. It was a cloud. Ten seconds left. Oh, we are in a proper torque roll. Oh no. That torque roll is so good. Come on. Torque. Yeah, I need to practice that. Alright, let's go in for a landing. Alright, so that was my second flight on the Waco, this time on a 3S, this time in calm wind. Not even wind, just calm day. And it just flies so dang good. It flies like it's on rails, super stable. The AS3X really helped out with not even like the wind, but just like the slight breezes now and then. But you can see, you can just punch out a lot on this plane, and I demonstrated, like, you have a tree in front of you, just go pull straight up. It's just such an amazing model. It hovers great. I need to practice my torque rolls on this thing, or just torque rolls in general. But yeah, it's just a really, really beautiful model. It flies great. And yeah, I also like, this is really unimportant, but I like how the biplane does not have any spinner, because, you know, on micros, this is the first thing to go. So, you know, it's just nice. So that's pretty much it. So thanks for tuning to John's RC. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye guys, I'll see you in the next one.
Wonderful flight, John. Awesome job, buddy.